God is saying to us today, saying, my ascension spirit is lifting you out of the struggles and the challenges that appear to be so hopeless. There are those who may fall and end up with nothing, but it is not the route that I have selected for your feet. You, on the other hand, are floating in the river that I have created, even the river that brings joy to the hearts of men. The wicked are like the raging sea. In no way should you be concerned or anxious. It is impossible for the waters of transgression that flood the world around you to approach you even if they try. The Father encourages you to keep your attention fixed on me and to keep your anchor in me, for I am your constant support and your defense. You will not be able to see the conclusion that will have an effect on those individuals who have decided not to know my name until you use your eyes. During this day, seek refuge in the tower that is named after me. This is the defense that I offer you, says the Father. Your name will be heard. Give your ears a chance to hear the true report of my voice that is coming from within you. I will lead and guide you through the fire, and when you emerge from it, you will not even have the odor of smoke on your garment. When it comes to the outcome, the Father says, trust in me. You must make the decision to walk out of the situation at hand in accordance with the process that I have revealed and anointed. Today I am moving you and propelling you forward into new territory and new provision. I am moving you. There will be times when you feel completely overpowered, but the Father says, do not be afraid, for I am with you. You can count on me to never abandon you. I will make sure that nothing and no one will try to hurt or destroy you, or even touch a single hair on your head. I will look out for your best interests. During this day, God instructs us to press into the pressure, and if we do so, we will emerge into the kingdom. The intensity of my glory flowing out of you is greater than the pressure that the world is exerting on you. In comparison to the oppression that the adversary is attempting to exert over you, the pressure that my glory is exerting on you is exceedingly greater. Whenever the adversary attacks and assaults you, you must push back. You must fight back against hopelessness and fight back against the illegitimate authority that would usurp my lordship in your life. The Father declares that you are my purchased possession, and that no power, whether it be on earth or in heaven, has the authority to influence your life. Now is the time to disobey the authority of evil that is working against your life. Take back the blessing and take back the favor that the cross of Christ affords. Allow my truth within you to usurp the lie of the enemy. Your blessing moment has come. Objects are closer than they appear. I shall do that which I pledged to accomplish. Promotion and favor are yours. Open your tongue and wield your faith against all the workings of the enemy to steal and remove from you what is inherently yours. You will not be refused in any way, for your blessing time has come. God says today, as I am, so are you in your life. As I am, so are you up against any difficulty coming against you. I am in you, and you are in me. I am looking out for you and establishing my kingdom in your life, defined by, as in heaven so on earth. You are even as I am. I am holy, therefore you are holy. You are my dear purchased possession. I have scribed my name upon your heart and across your forehead, even the name that makes the demons shudder. You are my branch, for I have grafted you into the vine that I am. I have rescued you from the source of sin and death to a place of safety. You are now the master of life, and this is more abundantly true. Now is the time to lean forward into my grace. The ability of the cross to save, deliver, and reshape what your tomorrow looks like is something you should have faith in. This is what the Father says: look to the cross. There is no longer any need to strive to be good enough or smart enough to observe changes in the world. Allow the cross to be sufficient. The Father expresses to you that this is a period that is now for you. I therefore proclaim that there will be no further delay or denial towards you. Grasp the promises that are contained in my word. Because you are my kid, you are walking in full privilege, favor, and blessing that exceeds all of your previous expectations. Therefore, go forth and perform deeds using my name. In today's message, God declares that all limitations, impediments, restrictions, and boundaries are being lifted from your life and replaced by my grace, which is endless and boundless. To enter my boundless realm, step in. Give me the opportunity to adorn your spirit with the complete range of your rights and privileges in me by serving as the canvas. Your life is being crafted by me, the artisan, for the purpose of blessing, favor, and benefit. You should give me permission to paint your life with the colors of my purpose. I want you to know that my love does not have a shelf life, declares the Father. When I laid down on the wood and offered up my life as a ransom for your own, my love is just as fresh and powerful as it was then. Take pleasure in the truth that I am favoring you. Take comfort in the fact that my adoration is centered on you, and rest in the truth of that passion. As the Father puts it, I am a fire from the top of my loins to the bottom of my loins. In the presence of my presence, I am urging you to be ignitable. Excessively many of my children are resistant to fire. They have come before me with a religious mindset that is so restrictive that it can withstand flames. In the midst of my blazing, will you be a brand? In the presence of the Father, you must find yourself combustible. Remove from your mind any and all thoughts that are a hindrance to the work that I am performing in your life. Take a step into the present moment, even now. The Father advises you to avoid looking back. Try not to glance back. In order to bring about the conclusion that you anticipate in your life, I am transforming the visible and molding the invisible. The time has come for transformation, and my hand is moving to bring about the circumstances that have been preventing you from conforming to my promise. This is your share, and I am making you a full participant in this endeavor today. The Father has sent to me today that I am not constrained by the past or by history. Before my throne, the past does not possess an unchallengeable authority. On the contrary, I reign in dominion over time and eternity in your favor. Rolling up the tattered tapestry of your previous life is what I am doing as a garment on you. I am letting go of and rewriting the pain that would otherwise be the defining characteristic of your future. What happened in the past will not determine what happens in the future, says the Father. My hand is infiltrating your past and removing the signs of desperation and grief that have been seen in the past. Sometimes you have found yourself wondering, what good could ever come to me after all this tragedy? You have asked yourself this question that I am making beauty out of ashes and pouring forth the oil of gladness on your soul, which is parched. This is the answer. I make this proclamation over you. I am giving fresh life to the places where there has been devastation, mildew, and blasting. It is my intention to rewrite your own history. There are entire chapters of your past that are being removed from the scroll, and they are filled with disappointment and blame. Instead of using the word tragedy, I am using success. As I sigh and revise my pain, I am doing so. No more sobbing in the middle of the night. All of my tears of remorse are being dried up. It is a new day, and you will now walk before me in a new way, unencumbered by anything that have occurred in the past. So rejoice, then. This day, the oil of gladness is removing every tear from your face and relaxing every wrinkle in your face. I want you to rejoice and to move forward with me into the noonday of my favor in your life. In today's message, the Father declares that the anointing of the breaker has been released over your life. In light of the fact that I am aware of your circumstances and predicament, I am acting on your behalf. I will be known in your life by my name, Jehovah Jireh, according to sayings from the Father. The Father says, I see, and the decision to take action in your life is contained within the act of looking. There is no need for me to consider, and I am not evaluating whether or not you have earned my favor. All of it was paid for by the cross, and the outpouring of my goodness is not far off. Therefore, you should reach out for it with trust. I have made you the focus of my attention, declares the Father. Give yourself some solace in this, since I never make promises that I am not prepared to fulfill. I am here, and I am here, trying to make up for every shortcoming, putting an end to every discord that exists in your life. Have courage, my dearly darling. You should be aware that happiness is something that comes with the dawn, and the dawn is breaking for you right now. Unbelief, uncertainty, and grief should be rejected. You should not give in to the furious scorn of those individuals who have no comprehension of who I am or what I have done. You do not lack any knowledge. In spite of this, you are not devoid of comprehension of my revealed will. You are going to see, you are going to know, and you are going to exult in the immediate provision that I am providing for you in your life, even today. My hand is upon you for good and not for evil. According to the Father, today, the 22nd of June, is a day that will bring you double witness as well as double blessing in your life. According to the Father, I am all about making the greatest dream come true and fulfilling the utmost heart's desire. I am making a request of you today to bring back to life those dreams and that vision that your thoughts have been preoccupied with in the past. Remove the dust from them, and then watch as I breathe upon them to bring them to fruition. I have not misplaced my memory, declares the Father. Plan A is still a viable option to consider. Refuse to allow the passage of time or unfavorable circumstances to dampen your spirit or force you to give up on the goals you have set for yourself. It is not too late to do so. According to what I had previously planned and what I had initially promised you, you are not in any way barred from the possibilities. This is what the Father says: do not allow yourself to be dissuaded from my highest and finest. You were under the impression that you had made a mistake, but the Father told you, and no problem. Aside from the fact that I am God over the things you have done correctly, I am also God over the things you have done incorrectly. To put it another way, I am in the circumstances and I am even in control of the circumstance to make your blunders succeed. In your mind, you had certain ideas about how things would seem, but in your heart, I was speaking and leading regardless of whether things turned out according to your strict expectations. You questioned whether you had made a mistake, and in your mind, you had certain notions about how things would look. Have faith in me for the procedure. Have faith that I will accomplish everything in the manner that I had planned from the beginning, and that I will bring you to a result that is superior to and beyond anything you could ever possibly ask for or imagine. At this moment, the Father is saying, much prayer, much power. Minimal prayer yields minimal results. Begin to pray with your mouth, my beloved. Give your lips the opportunity to convey the indescribable gushings that are coming from your heart. Your prayer to the throne, which is filled with faith, will be heard and answered by those things that you are unable to modify or endure. Hold your hands up in a gesture of pleading. You should make your needs known to me, since I do not place a high value on hardship or heartache. It is important that you prioritize the things that cause you to feel anger and those that cause you to question your beliefs throughout your time spent with me. To restore you to a default condition in which your yoke is easy and your weight is light, I will undo the heavy burden that you are carrying. God encourages us to pray in the Spirit. Utilize your comprehension and pray in the languages of heaven that are available to you as a result of the Holy Spirit's presence inside you. Give both your mind and your spirit the opportunity to release all of the tensions and struggles that are coming from within. During that particular moment of revelation, the angel who wrestled with Jacob will approach you as close as possible. At that same moment, everything will undergo a transformation. You will be given a new name and a new place in front of my throne upon your arrival. You will enter into a new day and a new season of advantage, blessing, and favor. When you do this, obstacles will be swept away, doors will be opened, and even the ancient gates that have been shut against you will fall of their own accord. Today, the Father tells you that each and every day of your life is a day set aside for breakthrough. God declares that today is the day that I shall perform my miracles in your life by virtue of my ultimate sovereignty. You have the opportunity to transform, advance, and improve yourself right now. No more ruminating on errors made in the past or chances that were neglected. The day before has passed. Try not to glance back. Continue to look forward with increasing anticipation to the better day and the established path of my favor that is waiting for you. You are about to cross a threshold of glory, where the fulfillment of your deepest heart's desire and your biggest dream will serve as your unwavering testimony. Now, therefore, I invite you to enter into my presence. Let go of your past experiences. Put away your speculative thinking and your erroneous concerns about the future. As soon as tomorrow arrives, it will be your now, and it will be the atmosphere in which my Lordship will govern, guide, and bless whatever your life looks like at that time. Today is the day that you will be saved. Today is the day that I will protect you from all of the attacks that the adversary will launch against you. You shouldn't let the challenges that life throws at you keep you stuck in a position where you have no hope or where you are immobilized by dread. Let us move forward with the expectation that I will be good. Get to your feet. Get away of here. You should engage in social activities and have the expectation that I will make you the embodiment of my incomparable goodness, favor, and blessing. Today, the Father wants you to put your faith in me for the unknown. Always keep in mind that Abraham went off without any idea where he was going. Everything worked out well for him, and if you have faith and are a child of Abraham, things will work out for you in a way that is greater and more profitable than anything you could ever ask for or think about. At this point in your life, there are circumstances that I am guiding you through without providing you with complete information about all that is going on. Instead of placing your faith in your own capacity to evaluate, plan, or forecast what events will take place in the future, put your faith in who I am in this situation. When the tide is rising, it may be impossible for you to see the horizon in the distance. Yet, when the waves come in, they will bring with them the bread of your trust that you have cast on the sea. Don't let yourself get disheartened. Fear should never be allowed to infiltrate your life, and you should never allow yourself to imagine the worst possible conclusion. It is not in my plan for you to do that. You must encircle the promise of my word with your faith, and you must not let go of it under any circumstances. There will be threats and boasting from the adversary, but what does it mean to you? He is a liar and the person who comes up with lies. As long as you continue to relax in my arms and retain a commitment to cooperation and alignment with my heart, the outcome will be exactly the opposite of what you had anticipated. You are currently experiencing an ascension season, which is characterized by the disappearance of the past and the disappearance of difficulties, which serves as a footnote to my greater faithfulness to save, heal, and provide in full and without fail. During this day, the Father declares, the utmost greatness of my power is resting upon you. You need not be afraid, for the working of my enormous power is currently flowing through the channels of your life in order to save, heal, and deliver you. Nothing but faith. Having confidence in me will bring you out of the darkness and into my kingdom, where you will always be in a state of righteousness, peace, and joy regardless of the circumstances you find yourself in. Because of the power of the resurrection, everything that was accomplished in Christ is now present within you. This is not something that can be earned, acquired, or appropriated by any means related to human beings. Regardless of what is going on in their immediate environment, it is the unrestricted gift that is showered onto all those individuals who come to me in faith trusting. Could it be you? And then get ready for a change in your appearance. Please keep this in mind, beloved. Pessimism and sarcasm are mindsets that erode faith and will always cause you to fail to get the desired result. They are born out of a prideful, wicked nature and consume your soul, leaving nothing behind. Remove the soiled clothing of natural thinking and the wisdom that comes from the outside world. Maintain your focus on my promise, and put your faith in the strength of my Spirit that resides within you, so that you can make it through whatever lies ahead of you. It is not a gloomy view at all. You will experience greater things in the future as you continue to say yes to my message and yes to the movement of my Spirit inside you. Where do you stand? You should then get up and shake yourself free of all feelings of despondency and lethargy, for better times are just around the corner. Please allow yourself to be infused with the power that I have just released over your life, as the Father has instructed you today. There is no longer any doubt in your mind about whether or not my will is directed toward you, because I am filling your heart with my yes and amen. My affirmative response to every demand and obstacle that you face in your life is as simple as the cross. This is the price that has been paid, and the privileges of paradise have been signed in your interest. Have faith that heaven will descend to earth in your life. Be conscious of the fact that I have made the decision to shower you with my favor and my goodness. In what way could the opponent of your soul possibly be able to interfere with my unwavering purpose to elevate you to a position that is superior to the highest locations on earth? Which circumstance or circumstance has the ability to make it difficult for you to comply with what the councils of heaven have decided on your behalf? The Father states that you are aware of the entitlement that is yours as a result of the work that was done at Calvary. I have known this for a very long time, and I have opened the eyes of your knowledge so that you might appreciate the latitude and clemency that comes from my hand and is included in your portion. The entire privileges of heaven should be inhaled, and all feelings of destitution, hopelessness, and disappointment should be exhaled from your body. I have not disregarded you, nor have I failed to acknowledge your existence. Believe in me for the outcome, and submit yourself to the way I will carry out the procedure. The things that you anticipate will not be the same as what you believe they will be. Rather, they will be greater than you could possibly have anticipated. Add to the blessings. There is more privilege. The amount continues to increase. Do you have the ability to say, "More, Lord"? That is the banner that is above you today, and you will not be disappointed in anything and everything. In this day and age, the Father says, I am opening your understanding so that you may know the full scope of the riches of glory that I have placed on the inside of you. When you look within yourself, you will discover all that is relevant to the demands of this day as well as the necessities of every day. My favor and blessing are ready and waiting to be bestowed upon you in the splendor that has been bestowed upon you. Practice cultivating a mindset that is centered on God. Those who believe in conquering obstacles are required to adhere to this directive. You are the vehicle through which I am laboring to will and to do what is to my good pleasure. You are the subject of my attention on a daily basis, and there is not a single deficiency that you are experiencing that I neglect to take into account. This is where I am, and I am working. Changes are occurring, and the situation is moving from deterioration to improvement. I will give you that portion. You are the inheritor of that money. Those who say otherwise are listening to the wrong voices. My plan for you does not go outside the confines of life and life more abundantly. There is not a single part of my plan for you that falls outside of these parameters. They adhere to the doctrines that are associated with death. You should be wary of what you hear. The things that you take in via your hearing become a predictor of the events that will take place in the future of your life. It is important to keep in mind that those things that are pure, faultless, gorgeous, and of good repute should be put into consideration. It is the path that leads to ascension. In this way, the promise of the resurrection is not only for the future but also for the present moment. This is the resurrection. Living. There is plenty. That will serve as your starting point in my kingdom. My beginning point with you is to bless you beyond any and all expectations, and from there, I will take you from faith to faith and glory to glory until the whole purchase price of Calvary is achieved in your life. When the difficult people in your life are unable to capture your attention, the Father says that they will resort to threats and extortion in order to get what they want without your consent. Be conscious of the fact that He who sits in the heavens will laugh and make them laugh when they see Him. Not only does this apply to me, but it also pertains to you, since you are seated at my right hand, which is a significantly higher position than any principality or power. Who exactly are these strutting little narcissists who believe that everything revolves around them and that they are the only ones who deserve all of your attention? Their experience will be similar to that of God's woodshed. It is not because I do not love them, but rather because I do love them, says the Father. Maintain your focus on the task at hand and don't give them any additional consideration. God assures us that He has our backs. I have influence over the breath that your adversary draws in order to criticize you. Your life will be judged according to my standards, not according to the judgments of other men. It is important to keep in mind that the truth will always triumph over the lie, and that when everything is said and done, you will emerge unrestricted and clear of any obstacles. All flesh is as grass, says the Father, and all of this is only the wood, hay, and stubble that surrounds you. It is the chaff that is being swept away by my winds in order to make room for the full fulfillment of everything that I have promised you, my darling. In this day and age, the Father declares that the word of my truth is the word of your blessing. There are no tragic stories that I have to tell you, nor is there any complicated season of suffering or sadness that I have to put you through. Everyone, including you, is included in the good news that is my gospel. This very day, the showers of my goodness are falling down upon you like rain or snow. There is a shift and change occurring, and it is getting better and better. It is clear to you where your trust lies. Put your faith in my word and don't look at the reversal or the disasters that are occurring in the moment. In no way will I let you down. It is impossible for me to abandon you in the cold. The time has come for you to experience the seed, fruit, harvest cycle, in which the seeds you plant will create a harvest even before they are planted in the ground. This day, the Father encourages you to take a step of faith. A cheerful and expectant sowing should be done. You will leave with eager anticipation, and then you will return with a sense of joy. It is not gradual that I am favoring you in your life, rather, it is instantaneous. The heavens have a special favor for you. I am not going to take a back seat and rub my chin as I deliberate over whether or not to abandon you in the predicament that you are now in. I am coming down even now to pull you out of the seas of adversity and to set you high above the challenges and struggles that you may know and to ever testify of my goodness in your life. The hills do melt, and the mountains quiver, because I am coming down to bring you out of the circumstances that you are experiencing. The Father instructs you to take possession of your entire inheritance on this earthly day. It is not something that is kept in the skies until you reach eternity that you will get the inheritance of my Spirit. In light of the circumstances that you are currently dealing with, the grace, the enabling, and the power that I walked in on earth are all accessible to you at this very moment. It is not necessary to enter a state of fear or to give in to desperation. Despite the fact that there is a portion of what is ahead that is unknown, I am working everything out for your benefit in accordance with the counsel of my will. You should not rely solely on what you see but also on what you believe. In contrast to the things that can be seen, which are subject to change, the things that I am bringing about from the world that cannot be seen are unchanging and never in question. There will be no replacement for you. You are not going to be humiliated. Regardless of the challenges you face, you will continue to search for and accomplish the purpose that has been predetermined for your life. I have a pattern that was formed in the heavens long before you were born, and all that I have planned for your life is a reflection of that design. Due to the fact that there is no sickness in paradise, I never intended for you to become ill for any reason. Due to the fact that none of these things can be found in paradise, I never made the decision to choose heartache, poverty, delay, or rejection for you in any context. Whoever insists differently with a tear in their eye and a quiver in their voice is not accurate in their assessment of the situation. They have forgotten the price that was paid on Calvary and the provision that became yours when I said, "It is finished." Accept the work that was completed on Calvary and claim it by faith as the outcome you are already walking into at this moment. You should not let the promise of my word to be more persuasive to you than the circumstances you find yourself in, what your eyes see, or what your ears hear. Keeping your beloved, believing in your faith, and expecting your faith to be fulfilled will ensure that you are not let down. In this day and age, the Father declares, "I have made you my son." It is not true that you are a groveling slave who is consuming gruel in the dungeon of royalty. You have the garment of righteousness slung over your shoulders, and my signet ring is currently resting on your finger. You have been purified and been given power. Your seat at my table is waiting for you. When it comes to taking advantage of what I have provided, there are no complicated prayer tactics or rigid religious rituals that need to be figured out. Say it to yourself in your heart, "The cross is enough." Then, remove from your mind the pseudo-spiritual approaches of those who are ignorant and who would enslave you to their skewed understandings. In the place where my Spirit is present, there is liberty, access, and freedom to come openly as a son, expecting and believing for everything that this involves in your entire life. It is the Father who instructs you to elevate your head and square your shoulders. Afraid not, and do not be afraid either. Not only am I here to facilitate your progress, but I am also here to be your Father. The listener is here. Let the cry of your heart go from a mixture of despair and faltering belief to one of expectantly anticipating what is yours as one upon whom I have set my seal and established the beacon of my favor. I adore you very much. This is the most important thing you can do in your life to figure out what that means. In addition to being preferred, you are entitled to this. Neither in your own moral position nor in your knowledge of religion, but rather in the efficacy of the blood that was shed instead. Because you have focused your attention on the work that was done on the cross, the entire intentionality of heaven will be poured out on your life in full measure to satisfy your need and raise you out of the hardship that you are experiencing.